If I hold it still for like 10 seconds, is that going to be the thumbnail? We'll never know. Hi there. It's Wednesday morning, April the 3rd, and you're watching The Quilting Shed with Andrea. In a perfect world, there would be like a little glitter and a little tiny noise. Love it when that happens. Oh, thank you. I'm getting notifications that I am now live. Lovely. Yes, I know. Good morning. It's the Hot Mess Express. I cannot see. I need new glasses, and I took Monday off because it was Easter Monday, and I'm like, you know what? It's been a while. I'm going to take the day off. And I did, and I got so much done. So much done. Not everything that was on the list, because the list we know is long. Does my toilet still need a good scrub? Yes, it does. But yeah, I did like a whole pile of stuff. But it is very hard to call places for appointments and things, and to get other stuff done in the background when they're also closed because it's a holiday Monday. Yeah. Yep, that's what I did. But anyway, I got some other stuff done. I spent a lot of money because one of the things I did was go through a bunch of restocking orders and things that I had to order and stuff, and put all those orders in, requests and things, and just make sure they were all done in a timely manner. The other fun thing that happened was my grandmother, Mertice, affectionately known as Mert. I mean, she has so many kids, grandkids, cousins, whatever. We just call her Mert because if you say nanny or mom, everybody's confused. Which mom? Whose mom? We don't know. My mom calls her mama. So we just call her Mert. It's just handier. It was easier with Papa because we just called him Papa. Anyway, Nanny came up for a visit. Mert came up for a visit, and I did post a short clip of Nanny coming into the shop, looking around, her first impressions. Oh my God, she loves it. I think just imagine should be our new catchphrase. I really think it should. And I'm not making fun of her. I think it's adorable and sweet. And I mean, really, when you look at some of this stuff, you think to yourself, just imagine what I could do with all this. Yeah, I do. So, so we sat here. My mom was here. Carl was here. You see some guys floating around the background of some of my clips. That's Carl and Ron, the husband, CEO. Good morning, Carly D. Good morning, Pamela, in the comments below. See, if you watch it live and you leave a comment, I will say hi to you. I just do, because I have ADHD and I'm distracted and the meds have not kicked in yet. So there. Oh, and Heidi's saying hi, preparing for the eclipse on Monday. Or as my mom says, it's my birthday week. So the heavens like to protest. We usually have a storm around my birthday, which is tomorrow. By the way, tomorrow is my birthday. And I had a reminder come up to remind me that tomorrow is my birthday because, as I've previously stated multiple times, I have ADHD and have literally forgotten my own birthday. So yeah, Mom came up, Carl came up. Somebody had to drive and lug things. Poor Carl, we love him. So we had a nice picnic lunch here at the shop because Nanny wanted to come see the shop. As I've previously told you, I have her sewing machine here in the shop behind the counter. So she had to come see to make sure that, yes, her oldest granddaughter was indeed taking care of it, just like she said she would. Because her father, who she calls Daddy, bought that for her. And little did I know, he ordered it from England. So we got in a good, if my mom, if you're watching, I said I thought we didn't get a bunch of those stories on tape. But we actually did. So I have an hour and a half of my grandmother telling stories. And honestly, when I was younger and my other grandmother would say, you have to keep a journal. You got to write this stuff down. I was like, I'll remember. No, you won't. You want to write this stuff down, as boring as you think it is at the time. I'm looking at you, millennials, and get these stories down from your grandparents, from your older relatives. Write them down. Do something, even if they're boring, because future you is going to be grateful And other people in the future will be like, holy crap, that was normal. You know what I found out that I didn't know? Now, I've casually said before, like, yeah, my two grandmothers, one of them was home and she taught me all this thing. The other one, well, I knew she knew how to do this stuff, but I never saw her actually do it because she worked all the time. You know how long she's been working? Since she was 12 and a half. Yeah, 12 and a half. So I'm listening to her telling these stories about when she started working and what her family life was like at home. And she is one of 22 pregnancies that her mother had. 16 of them lived to adulthood. I know. Um, and I'd kind of forgotten until I heard my mom talking that they took in kids as well, like other people's kids that needed a place to stay, and adopted some kids. I'd totally forgotten about Day Day. Couldn't pick them out of a crowd, but anyway, I remember hearing the stories. So yeah, just listening to my grandmother talk about, you know, how she was working in a factory from like 12 to 14 or so, and sewing. Of course, she was sewing, um, so that she could earn money and take it back home to help support her family because there were still 14 of them at home in a 5-bedroom house, which in my memory was huge. But I tried to find it on Google Maps and my mom told me the address again. And I stumbled across another picture. I'm like, that's just a normal looking house. And yet I can still hear my grandmother saying, oh, yeah, but we had 5 bedrooms. Okay, 5 bedrooms, 14 people. It is still blowing my mind that this was not like the 20s and 30s. This is not like super back in time. This is the late 40s and 1950s in New Brunswick, in St. John, in the city. Like this was my grandmother. That was not she's only 88. Anyway, I got some video editing to do because when I say this is wild, it's Jennifer Speedy's birthday tomorrow. Yes, that's why we are like sister friends almost. Well, not like that, but yeah, Jennifer and I share a birthday. So if you are an April birthday, you if you know, you know. You know, you know. So the other exciting things, other than my grandmother coming to visit and us getting an incredible amount of stories on video, and if you go to my personal Facebook page, not my shop Facebook page, I posted a minute and a half video of my grandmother telling the story of how the principal called her on my first day of school. Because at the time, my mom was working and I was staying at her mom's because it was easier for me and Timmy and Tammy all to go to school at the same time. There is context for this story in a longer video that I'm going to post later, but you may have also heard me tell the story. I may have a terrible memory, but at least when I tell you a story, it's fairly consistent because I'm telling you the same story every single time as if it were the first time. The time I got in trouble, yeah, I could read when I got to school. So to hear my grandmother and my mother tell this story together is hilarious. And I also included some pictures of sweet, adorable me, like when my grandmother said the principal called me up and said, "Well, Mrs. Daly, we have a problem with Andrea," and the first words out of her mouth was she bad? Nothing beats a grandmother's love. I'm telling you. It's like when my mom says to her, "Mama, look at Andrea's hair. Do you like the color?" And my grandmother says, she looks at my hair and she goes, "What color is that supposed to be?" I know. Love it. I said it covers up the gray, Nanny. It covers up the gray. So anyway, enough about me and where I come from and the sewing legacy. It'll all make sense. I should have wore my other shirt that says if you met my family you would understand, because clarity in that moment is like, yep, She's telling a story, and I'm thinking to myself, well, I do not dig that from a hole in the ground. I know where I get this from. Holy, holy dying. Just imagine. Just imagine. It's so funny. So, anyway, you are here because not just for the funny stories and because I am a startling ray of sunshine in your day, not just for those reasons. You're also here to see new fabric. I know. And we got new fabric in yesterday, all of it. No, we only had 2 guys show up. Sorry, just thinking what the FedEx lady says, because one company I order from, they keep sending stuff to my old address because that's my billing address, and some stuff doesn't get my shipping address on it, which is here at the shop. And so the FedEx lady knows that, and she's like, I'm going on vacation next week. So if you got another package coming in and it's got this address on it, they are going to take it to your house, not to your shop. So you got to get on that. She says it nicer than that, but it's very stern. And I was watching videos of Southern ladies this morning on Facebook, so I'm just picking up that Southern accent out of nowhere. Also, combined with poor stories of my grandmother's childhood, we got it going on today. But this is the kind of fabric here that I'm going to show you next. It's not grandma fabric in the sense that it's old, but it is the kind of fabric, but updated for modern times, that is grandmother friendly. Moda, Fig Tree Fabrics, Fig Tree and Company, Jelly and Jam Precuts. Jelly and Jam, because you're looking at this, and I don't know about you, but I did a lot of canning and stuff with my mother, grandmother, probably great grandmother, in her big old aprons, which we talked about. Fig Tree has those really nice, soft browns. Oh my God. Delightful little ginghams, the very lovely spring apple green, and aqua. I just can't with this. And the red that goes with the aqua. It's a certain shade of red, not the Christmassy red, the other shade. And these little peachy corals. It's so cute. I can think of at least 6 people where this is right in your wheelhouse of quilts that you like to make. And these charm packs are $20. I know, but brand spanking new, freshly released. You're going to see some of this fabric from other shops who bought yardage or other things from the same line. And I love how we do that sort of. We don't, some of the shops, we don't do it on purpose. We just happen to be like, oh, phew, you got half of that and I got the other half. That's working out really good for our customers. So I do also have the jelly roll. So cute. Look at this. Don't you love the jelly roll? So yes, jelly roll. This one has, what does it say? Sometimes they say if they have 40 or 42 strips, but usually it's 40 strips. And of course it's Moda. So of course they're all different. This is an $80 jelly roll because it is brand spanking new. Sometimes I try to wait a little longer to get things. Maybe I can get a better price for you, but often if we have to go for the pre-release and things that are upcoming, because I ordered this like months ago before they even made it, but it's gorgeous. It's Fig Tree. I mean, I love it so much. I believe they are also showing on the website. So if you're looking to order some, you can totally do that online. And on top of that, we did get in, also showing up online, is the Lewis and Irene that I've been waiting for, because way back in the mist of time. Ooh, just imagine that there was some kind of fade out into the past there. If you remember how I started my shop in my house 2 houses ago, because we moved, I got in like a half a dozen bolts of a particular Lewis and Irene line because I thought, wow, this is super cute. That sold really well. And I haven't gotten any Lewis and Irene since. It's a long story, but it never happened. So when these ones came up, I was like, finally, I'm doing it. These are great. I think they'll go over really well. So I did get the Ocean Pearls line from Lewis and Irene. Did I put a price? I think it's 20 a meter. Look at this. It's got the cute little turtles on them. and this lovely sort of damask design. This print in particular comes in 3 colorways. I didn't lug all the bolts over because we put them all away neatly yesterday. And some of these are on display at the front for when you first come in. So you can see them and touch them and pet them. And oh my goodness, this feels really good. And yeah, this particular line has a bit of a silvery sheen to it. Not full-blown metallic. I haven't tried to iron it any. Sometimes with metallics, you iron them and then the because it's metal in there, it gets super hot. But oh yeah, you guys are gonna love this. You guys are gonna love working with that. Um, it's got some basic prints with it. This still has the plastic on it. Sorry, it's so shiny. It's got all these little starfish. You could open it. You could open that up, Andrea. I can hear my mother now. And yes, if you're curious, my mom did bring a nice picnic lunch. We had egg salad sandwiches. I think there were some chips. There were some honeyed nuts. There were chunks of cheese. She brought tea in a thermos, even though I have a kettle here. She brought milk in an extra little bottle because I never have milk. Rice Krispie squares, I think. I'm sure there was more food. And I also made that lemon meringue pie I keep going on about. And everybody declared it completely fantastic, even though it was still warm. So it wasn't quite set in the middle. But I don't know about you. If you've never had a warm lemon meringue pie, you should, because, oh my God, it's so good. Anyway, back to the fabric. Look at this. I mean, look. Ah. This one's only got a little bit of metallic on it, but it's just enough to make it sparkle. And this is one of the more blender type prints, and you can see them all on the website. There's a few more prints. I'm only showing you a couple because, of course, they did a fantastic job. And there's like 12 or 13 prints in the line, and each one of these prints comes in like 3 colors anyway. So that's a nice seashell print. People are looking for nautical-based fabrics. This is the first line of a few that are coming in over the next couple of months. And it has a nice border print that comes with it that I will talk about later. Maybe not later today, but, and it also has this bunting panel. Dun, 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 dun. Look at that. So yeah, this is a panel. It's got these triangles on it. You make the little string there with the triangle little flaggies on them. It's called bunting. There we go. Willa says, please don't tempt me. Tempting you. I'm tempting you. I know. I can't remember how much this is because I had to do math for this one. I know. Anyway, so the other line is Clearbury Downs. And if you're at our cash counter, across the front of our cash counter, I usually put some sort of fabric that is a bigger print that I like to put on display. For a while, it was Lori Holt sort of cheater print. But I swapped that out yesterday for the border print that goes with Clearbury Down because it is a lovely English forest print. I'm all about the English country. Because, yeah, British nanny. So, yeah, it's got the trees and the forest and the sky and the little starlings flying through the air, the little foxes and the rabbits and the owls and birds all over it. And it's just cute, but not too cute. Because sometimes you have, like, cute prints that veer off a little into little kids. And there are a couple of prints in here that you could sort of, they look a little childlike. Not childish, but childlike. But this sort of print is one of my favorites. Oh, look at that. Look at the birds and the ferns. I did not hear the birds out there this morning. It's too friggin' cold. But look at that. The things you could do with this. I know. I just hollowed out one of my favorite prints here from that line. And of course, there's some nice floral blenders that go with it and some all over animal prints and the large border print. There is not a panel with this particular line. I have kept showing you sort of, I meant to get another print of this, a different print. I picked up the other colorway of that last print I showed you. Ta-da! Look at that. With the nice dark. uh, yeah, you can see more on the website if you're not local, but if you are local, you got to come in and touch it. I mean, seriously. Yeah, yeah. And I was looking at my spreadsheets yesterday, and there are still a couple of lines of fabric that I was supposed to get in March that I didn't get. So I'm just saying, prepare yourself for some more fantasticness that is coming possibly very, very soon. I know. And I had to put in restocking orders for things. One of these days, I will do more behind the scenes type videos. If you're interested in behind the scenes, please let me know. The other thing I was thinking of was right across the road from me, a little bit away, is the back of a bunch of apartments. And every so often stuff happens when I'm like getting out of my vehicle, coming into the shop and unlocking in the morning. I'm like, I don't know if I'm glad that a camera doesn't follow me around, but I hope that somebody who lives in one of those apartments is secretly amused at seeing me come to work every day, because some mornings, I'm just saying, it's hilarious. I'm just saying, if you are over there and you're having your morning coffee and you have a good view and you notice me pull up and forget things in my car, drop things at the door, have to go in and out, have to run errands, have to come back, have to go outside the shop and sweep the pavement, because I am that kind of person. I have literally swept the pavement in front of my shop because there's been so much sand from all the sanding to get the ice down, and the sand gets tracked in here. So I'm just compelled, through the neatness of my genes from my grandmother, that I just have to go out there and sweep a very wide swath so it doesn't get tracked in all day. I know. Seeing the things I forgot down here. Back to the Lewis and Irene stuff. Our handy dandy shop assistant has suggested some patterns that you might wish to use with the Ocean Pearls line. There we go. How about I do this? There we go. So we have like the Preppy Pod, which would look great in the Lewis and Irene Ocean Pearl. The whale watching. Yeah, I know. This is from Emily. Emily is a local pattern designer. You're going to see more from her in the near future. No pressure, Emily. I know, I just saw you yesterday. Choppy Waters from Art East Quilt Co. Also, Eastern Canadian pattern designer. This would look great in the Ocean Pearls as well. It's here with solids, but yeah, you could do it in the other ones. And for the Clearbury down, which does have butterflies on it somewhere, this pattern here, this was originally done with the Morning Blossom line that we still have some left on the clearance rack. Yeah, that way. And the Fancy Fox, I've done this pattern. It would look really cute in those nice woodsy forest prints. Awesome. Angela wants to know, I have several shop push brooms. I have a really big shop push broom that I keep out back. It's like 24 inches wide. It's great. It'll do like a, so I have one. Thank you, Angela. If you ever want to come and push the broom around, I would not turn that down. But I do have some heavy duty shop brooms here in the shop. And like, did you know you could buy Swiffers extra big? Did you know you could do that? They're amazing. I know, lots going on in here. I don't have my assistant today to say time. Mom, you got 5 minutes. So the other thing I did on my day off was, of course, I dropped off stuff at the thrift shop. And then I had to go inside and buy more stuff. In my defense, I was looking for specific things, really. And I just realized I was going to show you something, and I'm not sure where it is. Hang on. If I can find it real quick, I'll show you. But if not, we're just going to have to wait. But I can't find it, so we're going to have to do that. Yeah, oh God, my hair. We're going to have to do that another time. Anyway, yeah, I had to go pick up. I wanted to see what they had for like crochet needles and knitting needles and some other accessories. And I got a pretty good haul, which I did post on my socials. One of the things that they have patterns. Really cheap. These are pajama patterns. Those are flannels, right over there. Flannels, pajama pants. I know. And this is hospital uniform, but honestly, essentially, the pants are the same sort of pajama pant things. So April is National Serger Month, and because I sell PFAFF machines, a high quality sewing and embroidery product, they also carry a full line of sergers. This is my professional voice, where I'm trying to be professional. So I am definitely going to dive into sergers. I want to do some videos. I will really, really make that a priority to get some done because I think sergers are awesome. Everybody talks about how terrible they are to thread. PFAFF makes it really, really easy. They've got this like air threading system on some of the higher end machines, which is mind-blowingly nuts. I know. I'll show you a trick for threading your serger too if you don't have an air threader. I know. Got home yesterday and my husband said he had to run a impromptu errand, and I had the car, so he had to take the truck. And he's like, I sat in that truck for 10 seconds waiting for it to start, and then I realized I had to stick the key in it, and I was like, isn't it terrible? So anyway, I'm going to show you about sergers, not about my truck. Because I've used sergers in quilting. On a serious note, I have used sergers for quilting. Sometimes I have assembled an entire quilt with it. There's a few fun things you can do with a serger. There's a few everyday things you can do with it to make your life easier. So if you have one that's collecting dust, get it out. We'll work on that this month. I will answer your serger questions. Ooh, yeah. And I will show you some cool things to do with the sergers because we're going to make me some pajama pants for my birthday. Yeah. I also made my husband some pajama pants, so he is testing those out with this Robert Kaufman Mammoth organic flannel. Some of it's organic. Well, this is the Mammoth Junior flannel, but it's all yarn dyed and still on sale. So, yeah, and it washes up nice and fluffy. So I did have somebody come in and buy a buttload of it because they are definitely making everybody in the family pajama pants for Christmas. And if you're doing that, you kind of have to sort of think about it now. So if you need a lot of the flannel, I can help you out with that too. So there's that. So got my sticky note. Did we talk about everything? Jelly rolls, yes. Lewis and Irene, yes. A couple other things. So yeah, birthday's tomorrow. I will be posting something later about a giveaway. The giveaway is not on this video post. It will be on a separate post. There will be instructions you need to follow, but it's something for my birthday. I know, I'm all excited. So tune in for that. When you see it float by it will be one of those like and share things. So there's that. I'm just giving you a heads up. That's all. Also, to reiterate, yes, we still have sale fabric on clearance. At this point, basically, anybody who just wants anything off the sale rack, please just buy some of it. We'll still give you a discount. Mail order wise, we're coming up with creative ways just because of technology and shopping carts. But the point is, we got to move some of this fabric. We got more fabric coming. We still have more fabric coming. We got this fabric, but we got more fabric. It's on the way. Some of it's been ordered. You do not want to see how much money I spent yesterday. Maybe you do. Maybe it would scare you. Just take what you think would be a really great spend at your favorite fabric shop and stick a 0 on the end. This isn't a complaint or a brag. This is this is business. And some days I just don't stop and think about what those numbers mean because I would start to hyperventilate. It's one of those, remember I said a few minutes ago, behind the scenes, I would love to do more behind the scenes stuff because some of it's fascinating. And when I was, if you rewind back a couple of years, I wish there had been more videos like that when I started, so I knew what to expect. And honestly, sometimes just watching how a business works behind the scenes is fascinating and interesting. Don't you think? Yeah. And of course, when Mert was here, she was asking, how much money do I make? How much did this cost? How does that work? How many of these things do you have to buy? How many of these things do you normally sell? Is that how much that is these days? And the wonderful gem, if I hadn't had those last 3 kids, I could have had a shop like this. Ah, but she said it in a wistful, nostalgic way. We love her. Just imagine. Just imagine. And I am still getting tons of requests for classes and people asking, when's the next classes? When's the next classes? We do have some, I got a few things still up in the air, but some stuff is kind of settled. So I can actually plan things now. And I'm also looking at my schedule and going, oh my God, I'm going to be so tired. And I still have to figure out what we're doing with the beginner course that I scheduled an 8-week course into 6 weeks. That's going to go over. And then I can schedule more classes. But in May, I am doing two shows. I'm doing the Woodstock Quilt Show. That is the first weekend in May, Friday, May 3rd, and Saturday, May 4th. And then 2 weeks after that, I am doing the Fredericton Women's Show, which I think is, I'll have to double check. I don't know. Can't remember if it's a Friday and Saturday or Saturday and Sunday. So I'm doing those. So that's 2 Saturdays that I can't do classes, but also if they start on a Friday, I can't realistically do a class the Thursday night before the Friday I have to go to a show because I have to prep for the show. I can't do both things because I'm not superhuman. So May will be light on classes, but I promise June, totally going full steam with tons of classes. And I've got other people who can teach some classes, and I just got to sit down and get some brain time to slot them into other places while I'm still around so that they can teach a class while like the shop is open maybe and I can serve customers. Stuff like that. Whew. So that's what's going on. And as always, we do have sew days. I know on the website it says Monday, Wednesday, Friday. If you want to come on another day, that's fine. Saturday gets a little crowded because Saturday afternoon we have a class. So you got to leave before the class gets here. So that's a little hard to do. But hey, Monday through Friday, if you want to come hang out in the shop with me and sew here in the work area where I've currently set up video stuff. If you see my laptop, I just clear that off and you can have that spot if you need it. And then sometimes I remember, please give me back my good chair. I like to sit in it. Yeah, you can have a blast and hang out, work on your project, use the design wall, use the cutting table, use my tools. Sure, yeah, have a party here. We have snacks. It's fun. And we can get in that nice, comfortable silence of just working along side by side until one of us starts swearing. Darn it, I just sewed 6 inches with no bobbin thread. Because that happens. Yeah, it's a good time. Anyway, so I think that's it. I've covered all the new stuff. There's stuff online. We're heading into spring. That's all I'm going to say about that. I'm really happy you're here. This is the best job ever. Couldn't do it without ya. And yeah, I guess I'm going to wrap it up, which I keep saying, but I'm totally going to do it this time. So Clearbury Down from Lewis and Irene. Ocean Pearl from Lewis and Irene. Jelly and Jam from Fig Tree and Company, those pre-cuts. And PFAFF sergers are on sale, which I don't have anything up on the site or social media about again, but I will. And we will be talking more about sergers this month. So think about your sergers if you have one. And if you have any questions, come swing by and see that fabric. Think about the flannel and pajama pants because we're going to sew them on our sergers. Yes, we are. Yeah, and that's it. I'll see you on the flip side, okay? So you have a great day. Stay warm out there. I guess we're getting a storm tonight. And then the eclipse next week. Like my mom said, birthday week, heavens are protesting. I will catch you later. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you.